What's good? You rocking with your boy TheCzarr, all rights reserved. Now, here's the thing. We're about to get back, back to Riva Motorsports and the thought behind the case. Now, here's a good thing. And again, if I didn't say it, me talking about the clothes, shout to CommenterNation, commenter, LeLe Tinez, and she's going to be listed at the end of both videos, so you know who that is. An original at CommenterNation. A strong contact that I've been talking back and forth with since I began this series. She brought up a good point about the clothes and how these charities are going on. But she brought up another point and another subject and another light that we can enlighten ourselves on. And this is an ideology about Riva Motorsports. Now, we know he showed up with a bag of cash. That's a fact. We know it was like 50 raps. Do you think that he was contacted by Riva Motorsports, whether at a prior date, recently, at some time? Oh, she's right there. I can't think of who that is, but she's rocking it loud. Let her get her shine. If somebody rides through with XxxTentacion, that'd be even better. But it was partially your song. Anyways, listen. How about it could have been possible that Riva Motorsports hit him up, said, hey, something you were looking for is in, something we'd like to sell to you, something we'd like to do. And allegedly he brought the cash because he thought what he was coming for was there. But when he showed up, it wasn't the way he thought it was. Is this a possible feat? This is very possible if you think about it, because why would you show up with cash? You'd have some type of inspiration. You have some type of motivation. I agree that it's very important that this be understood. And I think, yes, it could be possible he showed up by contact by them. Now, are they going to come out and deny it or confirm it? I don't know. If they come out and deny it, I'd love that. You already know I expect certain things. I'd love you to. But is it allegedly possible that someone from your shop, without, let me be very fair, without, unbeknownst to the manager and other people around, made a call like, hey, yeah, come through, it's here. Then he got there and they were like, oh, I thought it was here, but he had the money on him, so it was too late. What if that was a situation? Because from the video that I saw, the uncle did not seem, let's say, involved in whatever he was doing. The slight video, remember, it's not a full video, a slight video showing one point in time. The uncle didn't seem like he was looking at anything. He was just behind Tentacion with the bag of money as he went up to the guy and was talking to him. Did someone contact him and say something you were looking for is here? If that was the case, that would add the missing link between why he actually showed up with that bag of money in the first place. No one just goes shopping with it, you know, and that's why I called everyone else liars. You know what I mean? As far as the witnesses and everything, because no one grabs a bag of cash, not several tens of thousands, and goes out and feels like shopping, then doesn't spend it when they go to a place. Now, if he went to the mall with it, I would give you that. But he showed up at a particular place at a particular time with a bag of money, thinking he was going to get something. That would be sensible. That would be everything credible to what makes sense for someone to do that. Hit that like button. If I'm not, hit that like button. Let me know that you know what I'm talking about. That makes sense, because he's not a dummy. Tentacion wasn't dumb. He doesn't just walk around with cash. He had cards, obviously. And if he didn't, he'd buy stuff one at a time, or he could send someone to get it. Why would he show up himself? There was some particular reason, and I believe what Tinez is saying makes the most sense. He'd show up because he's looking to get something. There was something he was looking forward to. That's why he showed up with a specific amount of money. And with the cost of things there, that would make sense too. He ain't just shopping with a bag around his neck and then walk out not buying nothing, unless he felt intimidated in some way, shape, and form. And we're going to talk about that while in the shop. But looking at the video, I'm going to say he seemed like he knew the people that had walked in. I agree with everyone. But it didn't seem like he was shaken by it. He looked at them once, turned back, and kept talking. Then he finished talking with the guy and kind of walked and looked. I believe he thought something was up to some extent. Something wasn't right. But ultimately, why'd he show up with that money? Why? That's what we need to understand. There may have been something he was looking forward to. So my thing is, on his call records, who from Riva Motorsports kept in contact with him? Is it possible one of you called him? Who spoke with Tentacion before he showed up? Or did someone at all? I believe someone may have. And I don't, because he's such a big star, I know stars' phones text off the map, ring off the map. They're getting calls and texts constantly. Could someone have contacted him that worked there, that he knew, or someone he was in relationship to? Hold on, let him rock out. I don't have a clue who that is. I don't have a clue what he's listening to. But that's my point. I think that's a very valid point. I think LeLe makes a great point to the situation. And to be real with you, I thought about it slightly, but I wanted to know who exactly knew him and Victor. But looking away from that situation, who possibly could have been in association with him? This is a very important factor. These things would help to build credibility to the fact he showed up like that. Let me be real. One of the people I talked to on the backside tried to tell me, oh, he's young, he got a lot of money, he's doing that. That's not the type of person he was. Don't throw that out there. Don't say he's young, he's just riding around with a bunch of money, because that's not true. If that was the truth, that would be his MO. He would have a bunch of jewels all up his arm. As we've seen it, he was dressed very plainly. He dressed very common in his own style. He wasn't extra flashy trying to do stuff. So that made no sense. So you could say that all you want. That made no sense to me. And that's why I say these investigators had to have issues. And that's why 2 being suspended didn't shock me. Because if you look at it, think about it, look at the clothes he had on, think of how much money he had on. Would he not have on Louis Vuitton and all this other stuff? These rappers, Vapes, whatever, that's played out. All these other rappers throw thousands on their clothing. Wouldn't he be dressing that way? He was dressed very plainly. So that simply shows someone that he wasn't a materialistic person. He was a very goal-oriented person. So I believe he showed up with a goal to get something, but he turned out, he was like, well, it's not here, or something wasn't right. And then he looked and saw a lot of different people coming in. Once he came in, and he started thinking critically, like, something's not right. That's what it looks like to me on the video. Seriously. That's why I told you, with them releasing the video, it's not going to hurt or harm or close anything. It just adds questions and actually confirms a lot of things and a lot of mistakes that they made on the case. They thought they were being slick, like, oh, we'll release this video and shut people up. No, that doesn't make sense. You just confirmed a lot of things, which is good for us. But it added a lot of questions, because if you really knew his character, or you had some inkling of the different things that he rapped about in music, you would get that he was different than these other rappers. He wasn't the same type of rapper. His mind didn't work the same. He wasn't flashy. He wasn't trying to smile with a bunch of jewels in his teeth. And he could afford it. He was buying stuff for his family. He was helping to empower them, probably housing a lot of them. He was donating a lot. He was trying to open charities. Think of someone like that. Think of your richest rapper. It took them years in the game to even think that way. Aside from rapping about their jewels and stuff, he didn't even do that. So you're going to make me believe he showed up to be flashy, to say I got 50 racks on me just to do it? Come on, think. I think that's the most disrespectful thing that has been said about this case. To say, oh, he was young, that's what he did. That's how I knew you guys were fake. See, it's not always what you don't say. Sometimes it's what you say. When you said that to me, I was like, this person's a fake. Because they really didn't know him. They want to sit there and cry and say all this, but you're going to tell me you believe, oh, he's young, he's just making decisions like that. That's a disrespect to his character and his legacy. A man looking to help people would show up somewhere with 50,000 just to throw it around and say he has it. That's dumb. That's dumb. That's why I had to block some people, because you're dumb. You don't think. You're not thinking what you said. You're telling me what you would do. That's what it is. But he wasn't dumb like you. That's the problem. That's the problem with people accepting what happened. So, Tinez, I like that view. What do you think, CommenterNation? Do you think that he showed up with a goal to actually get something he was pending and looking to get? but it turned out to be a setup. That would make most sense. And definitely, if we're not going to call out a business, it was some employee there that set it up, that helped to set it up. I don't know who they were with. I don't know what's funny, but it's funny how certain witnesses showed up and then they get quiet after they bragged about knowing what happened on social media. Tell me that's not funny. So what credibility do they have? What credibility do you have when we talked and you told me, oh, he's young, he's just making decisions? No, I don't want to hear that crap. I don't want to hear that. He's smarter than you. He's not dumb like you. So don't tell me he showed up and did something. He's not a dummy like you. He actually showed up with a purpose and someone took advantage of it. Who did it? Now this is a case of who done it. We're playing Clue right now and we have a lot of different faces on the board. But see, what's scary to me, in the end, it seems like since every face could be applicable, what if every face was applicable? Everybody played their part. And that's why you guys are sick. The fact he could show up and do that will probably make y'all sick to your stomach. And that's why I talked about witnesses. That's why I mentioned other people who gained social media clout. That's why I mentioned other people who were starting a film, talking about it on Instagram, then tried to deny it and run my name into the dirt like I had no credibility in it. When everyone who was rocking with me seen it, and that's why we do commenter recognition. There was multiple people that seen it. But these investigators are too dumb to realize that. They just want to arrest who did it, but they don't want to arrest who was helping who did it. You guys are, we're going to get at y'all. We're really going to get at y'all. That's crazy. But he's not that dumb like y'all. He doesn't act selfish and materialistic like a lot of these other people who he was friends with and saw its value and wanted to take advantage of it. That's what it is. Call it for what it is. Don't act like everyone's hurt and everyone around there saying, oh, RIP really means it. A lot of you don't really mean it. And the way I'm talking about this and the way I did this series and I took the rap for it and people coming at me, you know I mean it. That's the difference. And that's why I'm calling people out who don't. So don't slide in here under different names trying to talk your trash. Just know if you really had something to do with it, you will pay. Everybody pays for the evils they do like that. Preyed on this young man and did all that and then try and make him look like he's young and reckless. He wasn't young and reckless like you. He didn't do stuff like you. He wasn't out there like y'all. But we're going to get to it. You know how I rock. All rights reserved.